Thank you for tuning in to NSUSpartans.com and the 2011 NSU Football Coaches Show. Our first installment this week has the Spartans getting ready to face Virginia State in the 2011 season opener this Saturday at Dick Price Stadium. And we're joined today by Spartan football coach Pete Adrian. And Coach, it's that time of the year again where all the preparation and everything building up to this moment. We're almost here, and I'm sure everybody involved with the program is really excited.
Yeah, I can't get here fast enough. You know, you've been in camp for a long time. Kids are tired of looking at each other. Coaches are tired of looking at each other. It's time to play a football game.
Now, your preseason camp, a little different this year, was interrupted a little last week by the hurricane coming up the East Coast. You lost 3 days worth of practices. What was that like from a coaching standpoint as far as trying to prepare for this opening game and having to worry about safety of your families and the players and their families and things of that nature?
Well, I mean, certainly the safety of your players, your family takes priority over everything. We understood that. You know, you had your routine interrupted, but you know, that's why as a football coach we always say INA, improvise and adjust, and you have to be able to do that.
Now, tell us a little bit about how preseason camp is going for the Spartans this year. Obviously, you're about 3 weeks into it. School started up now. What have you seen from this team through these first 3 weeks of preseason camp?
Well, probably the best thing I've seen is we really have not had a bad day of practice. I mean, our kids have gone out every day and they've attacked practice with the type of enthusiasm that you'd like to have. And I think our team chemistry appears to really be developing very good, and that's something that I always look for.
And I'm sure it helps to have such a veteran team back, especially defensively. You've got, by my count, 7 senior starters on defense. That's pretty rare at any level of football to have that. Yeah,
and you know, that's been something that we're going to have to feed off of without question. We know we've got experience back there, and that certainly should help you in the first game, because you really don't know what your opponent's going to do, other than you know they're going to try to throw some wrinkles at you that you haven't seen or they haven't shown on film from a year ago.
Now, offensively, obviously, you've got a little more inexperience on that side of the ball than you had maybe this time last year. Tell us a little bit about how things are progressing on that side of the ball, and what you've seen from those players so far in preseason practice.
Well, I've seen us getting better, and of course, it helps having an experienced quarterback. There's no question about that, because he's the guy that runs everything. And I really think that Kendall Noble's done a nice job, and Michael Kay's done a nice job. So the offensive line appears to be coming around. But again, it's going to be first game for a lot of those guys. I think our receiving core is going to be fine. All the kids that had to play last year, they didn't play last year. Now they've got 11 games under their belt. And of course, with a couple of new additions that we have in there, will certainly help us in that line too.
Now, this time last year, you were getting ready to go on the road to face Rutgers on a Thursday night game against a BCS level team. This year, however, the return of the Labor Day Classic, your team gets to open up at home on Saturday. I'm guessing that's a nice feel for the players to know they get to open at home this year.
And there's no place like home, is what you say. And you know, hopefully we'll have a crowd in here of 20-25,000 people, and it gets the kids very excited when they come out and see all that stuff. And yeah, and it's nice not having to travel. There's no question about that.
Now, looking specifically at this week's game against Virginia State, a team that you've been able to win 5 consecutive ball games against, jumped out to a big early lead against them last year. What are you expecting out of the Trojans this season?
Well, we're expecting them to do the same thing they did last year. You know, I mean, they played for their conference championship. I think they were 8-3 last year. They were very good on offense. They scored a lot of points. In fact, it's kind of surprising that, you know, they scored more points against us offensively than anybody did last year on our schedule, which includes Rutgers and the people in our league. And, you know, in the third quarter last year, we had a nice lead, but they had us on the run there a little bit, throwing all the reverses and screen passes and middle screens and all this stuff. And so, you know, we know they're going to come in here fired up. It's their first game, and, you know, they always have a point to prove, and we understand that, and we have to be ready to match their intensity.
Now, you mentioned they played for the CIAA championship last year. They flew a little under the radar to start last season, ended up with a really strong campaign, and they've got some experience back. So obviously another experienced team that you'll be facing, along with, you know, obviously you have some experience as well. Yeah,
probably the best thing is that, you know, their offense is back with most of their skill guys and starters like that. So their experience kind of matches our experience. You know, defensively, I know they've got some new guys out there that's going to play. So it's always been an entertaining football game. I'm sure it will be.
All right, Coach, well, we look forward to seeing that this Saturday, and we encourage the fans, if you can't make it out to the game, to make sure to listen to the audio feed on NSUSpartans.com from the NSU Sports Network. Also, the game will be available via video streaming at NSUSpartans.com, so lots of ways for you to follow the action if you can't make it out to Dick Price Stadium. Again, that's this Saturday, September the 3rd. The Spartans open against Virginia State. Make sure to check back often to NSUSpartans.com for more information on Spartan football.